What's up, YouTube? I just wanted to do a real quick video in the 2019 Ram Rebel with the Flowmaster exhaust. I'm going to put a link in the description as far as what I've got right now. This is in cab, windows up.
In a quarter mile, turn right.
So I don't know exactly how good the iPhone microphone is going to pick it up, but I'm on the way to an exhaust shop right now to actually have the Carven exhaust installed, and once again I'll put a link in the description of what I'm changing. So I started from stock, obviously, went to the Flowmaster, and now I'm going to the Carven because the Flowmaster is great, don't get me wrong. It gives you a little bit of the rumble, you know, that you're looking for with a big, you know, Hemi V8, but it's still really quiet in my opinion. Almost feel like you hear more of the engine sound, which the Hemi's got a great engine sound, but it's almost like that sound
right.
by itself.
Then your destination will be on the left.
It's almost like that is more overpowering than the actual exhaust, which in my opinion needs to be the other way around. So we're gonna try the Carven.
Your destination is on the left.
I got it, Google, thanks. But I'm gonna try the Carven and see. We'll see if this gives me what I'm looking for. I'm gonna hang on to the Flowmaster though, because the last thing that I want to do is put this Carven on and it's too loud. You know, I don't want it to be obnoxious. I don't want to have a drone. So I'll report after I have it installed, and we'll do a before and after audio of the actual exhaust behind the truck. So I just pulled up at the exhaust shop, so stay tuned, we'll check it out. Okay, now here is post installation with the Carven exhaust. Initial thoughts on it, or I believe this is just about the perfect volume. So, you know, I did a little quick video with the Flowmaster, and it's the FX series Flowmaster. And again, I'll leave a link in the description on that. And this one is just about what I was wanting out of the Flowmaster, but couldn't quite get. And again, I don't know if this is going to pick up the audio very well with the iPhone microphone. Sorry about the sun, heading into the sun. But when we first started this up, I thought it was actually quieter than I was expecting. I was almost afraid that this Carven exhaust was going to be too loud, just based on the size of the muffler, because it is a lot smaller than the Flowmaster. But this is just about perfect, because when you really get on it, it's definitely more throaty. You can tell it's more open than the Flowmaster is, and it gives you that tone when you're looking for it. But when you're cruising around, I mean, like right now the windows are up in this truck and I don't even hear it. You know, I'm going 45, and I mean, certainly if you ease into the throttle, you definitely can hear it in the rear of the truck. There's no drone for me yet. I mean, I haven't been on the interstate going 80 yet. So again, I may post a follow-up if I hit the interstate going 80 and notice a drone. But one of the things that I have to, you know, tip my hat to Dodge on is these Rams are super quiet in the cab anyway. They've done a really good job at sound dampening. You know, there's not a lot of road noise that you get. Do a little pull. So you can definitely hear it. It sounds great. Doesn't sound raspy. I mean, the Hemi, of course, is a great sounding engine anyway, matched up with the right exhaust. And, you know, if I had it to do over again, I would have absolutely just started with the Carven and not gone the Flowmaster route. The Flowmaster route is a good option if you're looking for just a little bit more sound than stock, because don't get me wrong, the Flowmaster sounds great. It's just really quiet. So again, if you want just a little bit more rumble over stock, go with the Flowmaster FX. But if you're looking for a good economy way to get a good sound out of the Ram, definitely look at the Carven, because it's the same design as the Flowmaster. And what I mean by that is it's not truly a catback exhaust, because it's just a pipe that you bolt in, and you have to make one cut, at least on the 19 Ram. You have to cut at the rear of the factory muffler, and then the front of this pipe will bolt up to the existing flange. So it's a in-place installation with one cut. It comes with a clamp, If you prefer to go the clamp route, personally, I'm not a big fan of exhaust clamps. I'd rather have it welded, and that's exactly what I did with this setup. Is I did weld it rather than clamp it in to make sure it's got a good firm, you know, secure fit, and that's it. So you still retain your factory tailpipes. They still come all the way to the back, the ones that are on the truck now. It does come with a nice set of tips if you order it with that option, because Carven does sell just the bolt-in, and then they also sell the bolt-in with your choice of tips, whether or not they be black or if you want more of a polished look. For me, the choice was simple. I went black because the whole truck is red and black. Like all the actual accents on the truck right now, all the way from the Ram logo and all that, are factory blacked out. So the tips being chrome would just look weird, seeing as how this truck is all red and black. So I stuck with the black, and it looks really good. I'll get some more footage of the actual tips as well as the sound, you know, from behind the truck. I'm gonna try to do that with a better quality mic than this iPhone to try to pick up the true sound. But yeah, so far I'm satisfied. Right now I'm going 60. You can barely hear it. Now when it drops down to the 4-cylinder mode, it's a little bit more noticeable than, you know, if you're in true 8 cylinders. But again, this is with the radio completely off, going 60 in 4-cylinder mode, and those of us who own Rams know that it'll stay in 4-cylinder mode for like 4 seconds and then, you know, kick out because it just can't keep up with the demand of this big heavy truck. So yeah, so far impressed. No drone. I've gone at least 60 miles an hour so far. No drone noticeable at all, which was my main concern, you know, doing just the bolt-in kit. So yeah, I would give it 2 thumbs up. I would absolutely recommend, you know, any Ram owner that's looking for a little bit more sound out of their Ram, but don't want to spend $1,200–$1,400 for one of these name brand kits from somebody like Borla or Corsa. Definitely take a look at Carven. Truly impressed, and I'll get more footage that I'll pipe into this finished video. Thanks so much for watching. Do a real quick review video of the new Carven exhaust I had installed. So this is the 2019 Ram Rebel, and this is the Carven exhaust, which is basically what they would call a catback, but essentially all you're getting if you opt for the tips, as you can see, the tips just clamp on, and the factory tips are also secured by those same clamps. They just clamp right off. And you get a in-place bolt-in muffler. So essentially, I'll try to show you guys if I can get down here low enough. So this is the muffler that you get. So at the front, it actually bolts right to the existing flange, and in the rear section, you will have to make one cut. And in this case, we opted to do an actual weld just for security and to make sure it doesn't rattle loose or anything like that. I just feel like a nice weld is more secure. So let's listen to this thing, and hopefully you can hear it with the iPhone microphone. This review one-handed, so I'll see if you can still hear it if I rev it up a little bit. So yeah, really impressed with this kit. And just to give you guys some perspective, I had a Flowmaster FX series bolt-in muffler. See some of my jet ski projects that I got going on in the garage. But yeah, I had the Flowmaster FX kit, and this is the Carven box that you'll see here that it comes with. You know, real nice setup. It just comes with the muffler, and you can opt for the 2 tips. But the Flowmaster FX, as I said in one of the previous clips in this overall video, it's got a good sound to it. It's just really quiet. So this one also has a great sound and just ups the volume, the decibels just a little bit. And I think this is just about the perfect loudness for this particular truck. I didn't want to go overkill and sound like a dude going down the road like driving a crop duster with straight pipes. but I also didn't want it so quiet you couldn't hear the nice Hemi V8. So I feel like this is a good compromise. And again, this is the Carven exhaust review for the 2019 Ram Rebel. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more great videos. This is before. What's up, YouTube? So it's early in the morning, it's about 7 o'clock, so I'm trying to get creative with lights. I mean, there's only so much I can do to light up this cab of the truck so you can see me, but I wanted to do a real quick final clip for this new Carven exhaust project. And you know, so far I've had it on there for, you know, a day or so, and I really do love it. I think it's just about the right tone, just like I've already said a couple times in previous clips. One of the things that I will say about it is inside the cab with no radio, like no audible noise, and hopefully, by the way, hopefully this mic that you guys are hearing me on now, you get a better, you know, idea of what the sound is. This is a Rode shotgun mic. So it's generally aimed at me, which is towards the rear of the truck. So I think this should do just about the best job possible of picking up the actual in-cab audio. So with no radio, windows up, that's the way it is right now, cruising at about 50. So you can hear it just a little bit. You know, you hear a little bit of the exhaust coming through the cab, but not much at all. And as soon as you kick on the radio, it goes away. Now, I will say, when you're under load, like now, and the mic may not be able to pick that up, but you definitely will hear it. Sometimes even with the radio on, which I don't mind, because the whole purpose of me looking for an alternative to the Flowmaster is I didn't feel like I heard it enough. So I feel like this is a next step that's just about right. Because some of the ones like the Borla Attack series, you know, all the videos I've seen on YouTube, I mean, they all brag about, hey, you know, there may not be a drone. Okay, that's great. But any other time you're in the truck, I mean, it's just obnoxiously loud, in my opinion. And to each their own, right? I mean, everybody's got their own opinion of how loud they think their truck should be. And, you know, I have just heard way too many trucks that sound like crop dusters and prop planes taking off at the local airstrip, which is just obnoxiously loud. So for me, get out here and get on it a little bit. Yeah, so like the whole way through that, it's got a nice grumble. When you get on it, it's nice and loud. And remember, this is with the windows up all the way. And again, you know, Ram's done a really good job of sound dampening. So what I want to do, and I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm actually, and it's really cold, so I'm going to do this for a minute. I'm going to roll all the windows down. And hopefully the wind noise isn't too great. And the wind may mess this up, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. So if you're still able to hear me okay, and we'll see in editing, but this is in the truck, all the windows down, including the rear glass. So hopefully that'll help this shotgun mic since it's pointed towards the back. But it definitely sounds really, really good. And it's got a nice little grumble, you know, as the RPMs slowly come down. Like steady throttle, you can hear it. It's got a nice little tone. Damn, it's cold. It's 44 degrees right now, in case you're wondering. This is in Marietta, Georgia. So I know those of you who watch up north are probably like, sissy. But it's cold for me. But yeah, it sounds really good, guys. I'm definitely pleased with it. I'm trying to not make this video longer than it needs to be, but I'm trying to get enough clips of the tone and the audio so that you can actually get a good review, because that was one of the problems I had with this Carven exhaust is, you know, there's a lot of videos on YouTube about how to install it, and then maybe you get, you know, a real quick in-cab for like 2 minutes and that's all you hear. So I'm trying to give you a more thorough review. Sounds great. I'm gonna roll the windows up. It's cold, and just in case you can't hear me. All right, that's better. And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do for the rest of this clip. I'm gonna leave that rear glass open because that doesn't really make it that much colder in here. But hopefully that'll let you get a better sense of the sound. But overall, very impressed. I have no complaints. The only thing I have not tested yet is interstate driving, you know, 70, 75, 80, to see if there's any noticeable drone. But I really don't think there will be, based on everything that I've done. And I've gone 65 in it, you know, so far, to give you some sort of idea. So unless the RPM tones, you know, are exactly right in the harmonic region or whatever, when you hit 80 versus 65, I don't anticipate any drone. And make no mistake, you do hear this exhaust, so it's not like I'm trying to downplay the decibels, you know, with all the windows up in cab, even with the radio on, I would say low, you do still pick up notes of the exhaust. It's not like it's totally gone, which is what I was going for. But again, it's not obnoxious. It's not overly loud. I can live with it. And then you just turn the radio up another click or two and it completely drowns it out. Yep. Hopefully this is enough footage, guys. You know, I hope that you take a look at the Carven. You know, I think what I paid for this thing was right at $500, I think, but that's with the tips. You can get this kit with the muffler by itself. So for whatever reason, if you want to keep the OEM tips, which, don't get me wrong, they're nice, right? They're like that dark gunmetal chrome, like a dark shiny chrome. So they are nice, but I really, really loved just the matte black Carven tips with the Carven logo. And I must say, as I've seen some other tips and some rear exit exhausts don't really line up right, you know, with the rear bumper, and they kind of stick out a little, which is super bad looking in my opinion. These actually do line up flush with the bumper, as you can see in the picture I'll throw up. But they look really, really good at the rear of the truck. They're not protruding out from the bumper. They've got a nice tucked in look, and just enough of it peeks out where you can see the Carven logo. So I think the guys over at Carven did a phenomenal job on this system. Highly recommended in my book. You know, I think if you're not trying to drop, you know, $1,000 or $1,400 on a full catback exhaust system, this is absolutely the way to go. It gives you the right tone, the right decibels, the right volume, without being obnoxiously loud and creating a drone that's unbearable. So definitely 2 thumbs up on this one. Stay tuned for more great videos and enjoy the rest of your day. Now it's time for some coffee.